अस्सलाम वालेकुम। आज हम आए हैं बादशाह ग्रिल रेस्टोरेंट और आज इफ्तार पार्टी है। ये होस्ट की है सोहेल भाई ने और उनकी वाइफ ने। चलिए,
वेलकम।
थैंक यू।
I would like to welcome all of you on behalf of my family and my organization, CMAA and MFT, on this auspicious occasion. If there's one takeaway that I propose to uphold in this month, it is to refrain from the worst four-letter word in the dictionary, H-A-T-E, hate. And this is what I have learned from our beloved Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him and his progeny. Please recite a Surah Fatiha for one of my dearest friends who we met soon after our lonely entry into Canada way back in 1988. She immediately made us feel part of her family. He manifested Ramadan's excellence over other months by allotting it abundant humor and honor and grace. He prohibited eating and drinking in order to exalt and honor it. He gave excellence to one night over 1,000 months, the night of Qadr, in which descend the angels and spirits by his permission for every affair. O Lord, bless Muhammad and his household and inspire us to know its excellence and honor. Help us to abstain from what is forbidden and to observe the fast and employ us in that which will please you, so that we may not gossip, nor direct our eyes towards evil, nor stretch our hands to things forbidden, nor stoop to things prohibited, nor eat of what is unlawful. Protect us from showiness, loved by the ostentatious, and notoriety desired by the seekers of fame. O Lord, give us grace to perform timely the 5 prayers. Let us show favor to our relations and do good to them, and help our neighbors with kindness, to purge our property of obligations and purify it by giving from it. O Lord, I beg you for the sake of this month to make us worthy of that which you have promised to your friends, and restrain us from disbelief in your unity and from our deficiency in glorifying you.
Do beautiful deeds because Allah has made you beautiful. We often talk about mind. My is something that is not me, it belongs to me. My book, my lecture, my school, and so on. But that my is disposable. It will not stay with me forever. We hardly talk about me. So if everything is mine, what is me? Have you ever wondered? The truth is, the me is the soul. Because as Maulana Jalaluddin Rumi says, you don't have a soul, you are the soul. You don't have a soul, you are the soul. And the soul has to be traversing and moving all the time. Have you ever wondered, in Islam, we always talk of some kind of movement. The very first dua in the Quran is what? Ihdina as-sirata mustaqim, sirat, path. We talk of the tariqah. What is the tariqah? A path. The sunnah of the Prophet. The sunnah, excuse me, the sunnah is that path that he has laid in front of us. In other words, we as human beings should be moving all the time. Where are we moving? Where are we going? The Quran provides the answer. وَإِلَى اللَّهِ الْمَصِيرُ. Your journey is to God. In other words, whatever we may be doing, wherever we may be going, we cannot escape Allah, but we are moving towards Allah. فَيُنَبِّئُكُمْ بِمَا كُنْتُمْ تَعْمَلُونَ. He will tell you what you used to do. We don't even have to tell him. He will inform us of what we were doing. So for us then, the challenge is to reignite our me and to go towards Allah. Remember this much. It's interesting that when we think of Ramadan, we always think of fasting. Huh? When the Quran introduces Ramadan, it does not talk about fasting at all. شهر رمضان الذي أنزل فيه القرآن. This is the month in which the Quran was revealed. In other words, more than the fasting, of course, fasting is wajib, but the Quran was revealed. And this Quran is not only a legal or historical document, it's a spiritual document. فَإِنَّمَا لَا تَعْمَى الْأَبْصَارِ وَلَكِنْ تَعْمَى الْقُلُوبَ الَّتِي فِي الصُّدُورِ. Indeed, the Quran says, it is not the eyes that are blind, it is their hearts, their chests which are in their hearts which are blind. In other words, this is the month when we need to open our inner. The Quran was even, insights have come to you from your Lord. I want to just spend a few minutes. Because when we are talking spirituality, we are looking at spiritual figures, historically or even in our midst. Why? Because spiritual figures have something important to tell us. They remind us, bring us closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Haven't you felt many a time when you are in front of a very spiritual figure, that there's something special about that person? Could be a he or a she. They remind you of the presence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And such a person was Imam Ali ibn Abi Talib. Indeed, when you look at the Sufis, when they use the tariqah to the Prophet, almost invariably it goes through Ali ibn Abi Talib. Why? Because he did not just worship Allah, he adorned him, he loved him. And therefore in Dua Kumail it says, وَعَدْنُوا مِنْكَ دُنُوَّ الْمُخْلِصِينَ. I'm seeking closeness to you, the closest of those who are mukhlis, sincere. There's something else about him. Heaven and hell did not matter to him. What mattered to him was Allah himself. You know, I ask my students, I teach at McMaster, will you pray in Jannah? They say, this professor, he made us pray in this world, he wants us to pray there also. Huh? So if we don't pray in Jannah, it means that we prayed for Jannah, not for Allah. The moment we go to our Jannah, we say, goodbye, Allah, we don't need you anymore. We got what we wanted. And to seek the divine. Two main points. That in order to be spiritual, we have to be moral. In order to be moral, you have to be spiritual. I can't be close to God and then lie and cheat and do all that, then claim to be close to Allah. The two are go hand in hand. And I cannot be truly moral unless I'm spiritually connected to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The two go hand in hand. And one of the key elements that I would like us to ponder about in this month is the challenge of being mukhlis. Mukhlis is to be sincere. You know what is sincerity? It's when a person's inside is the same as what is outside him or her. In other words, that person is no longer pretending, is free from appearances, free from seeking favors or seeking appearance from others or praises from others. In other words, ikhlas is a station which is very difficult, by the way. Because then when we are brutally honest with ourselves, remember this much, my sisters and brothers, when you go in dua, it's not only about asking Allah what you want, it's asking yourself about who you are. And that's a challenge, by the way. To be brutally honest, I am this, because nobody knows you apart from you yourself. Nobody knows me who I am apart from me myself, correct? That's what dua does. It's a sense of introspection, to cleanse myself of all those hypocrisy, of all those appearance, so as to attain the level of ikhlas. Rumi said so well about Imam Ali, as Ali amukh ikhlas amal, sher hakra munazza as dagal. From Ali learn how to be sincere, because the lion of God, he is called Sher Khuda, right? The lion of God is free from pretenses. He tells it the way it is. He doesn't care what you think of it. That's what it means. As I said, Allah asks us, wa ahsin kama ahsanallahu alayk. That do beautiful deeds because Allah has made you beautiful. One of the key things that we need to do is how we behave with others. Spirituality is connected with morality. And what we need to do is to activate attributes. We all have the attributes of love, mercy, kind, forgiveness. Where did we get this from? We did not buy them. They came. They are in a manner from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. To have an attribute is one thing. To grow in that attribute is another. In other words, the more love you have, the more Allah will love you. And do not be constrained by the religion of these narrow-minded mullahs who said you only have to be nice to Muslims. I don't believe that at all. I believe the Islam that the Quran is teaching us, telling us, you save one life, you have saved the whole of humanity. The Quran tells us that even if a mushrik comes to you asking for amnesty, give him that amnesty. Because, not because he's a mushrik or anything, but because he's a human being. Humanity is at the crux of Islam, of Quran, by the way. Not the religion which tells you that you should only love Muslims only, I don't care about non-Muslims. I don't believe in that at all. As I said, the Quran asks us to reflect the love of Allah and to be good to others. What do we mean then? It means to show our love and mercy to each and every human being, not to be constrained by anybody else. In other words, the more you love a person, the more Allah will love you. The more you forgive others, the more Allah will forgive you. Because we have these attributes, we are the representatives of Allah, as the Quran tells us. Why? Because we represent Him. Allah doesn't come down on earth for us in a human form. What He does do is activate His attributes within us and wants us to do good to others, so that we can experience the love of Allah. Anfa khairun nas, anfa'un nas. The best of you, of all human beings, is the one who benefits other human beings most. He doesn't say khairun muslimin, huh? This is khairun nas. The best of you is the one who benefits other human beings most. And like Raheel, I want to end with a dua also. This is dua of Arafat, of Imam Hussein. It's very beautiful. Just a couple of lines. Allahumma jal ghinaya fi nafsi. Oh my Lord, make me contented in myself. Give me the contented in myself. Wal yaqina fi qalbi. Give me certainty in my heart. Wal ikhlasa fi amali. Make me sincere in my action. Wal nura fi basari. Grant me light in my eyes. Wal basira fi bi. And grant me insight in my religion. Wassalamu alaikum wa
Abhi, Assalamualaikum. So glad to see you, mashallah, always.
और हमेशा अल्लाह रखे भाई इनको अपने एलिमेंट में.
Thank you so much. I love your trips, by the way. मैं कहाँ जाते हैं ना, मैं आपके बीच में
ये